The Gospel of Luke, the 7th chapter, the 31st verse. To what then will I compare the people of this generation? And what are they like? They are like children sitting in the marketplace and calling to one another. We played the flute for you, and you did not dance. We wailed, and you did not weep. For John the Baptist has come eating no bread and drinking no wine, and you say, he has a demon. The Son of Man has come eating and drinking, and you say, look, a glutton and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. Nevertheless, wisdom is vindicated by all her children. Amen. One could be forgiven for considering our reading this morning as one of the most confusing passages of the Bible. What on earth is Jesus trying to tell us? It begins with children complaining that they're being ignored, that John the Baptist is considered to be possessed of a demon, and finally Jesus himself is taken to task for befriending tax collectors and sinners. What should we make of it all? Well, perhaps we should begin by acknowledging the connection between all. That connection is the God-given gift of free will. The ability to think for ourselves and to be aware that in our personalities, each and every one of us is unique. The ability to make opinions, views, and beliefs personal to ourselves, but recognizing and accepting that such opinions, views, and beliefs are not necessarily shared by others. God, in his love for humanity, gives many gifts, the gift of love being perhaps the greatest of all. But alongside that gift, and also ranking in supreme importance, is that gift of free will. The ability, as already stated, to think and to hold personal opinions and beliefs that others may or may not share. If God had withheld that gift, then the human race would have been, and will continue to be, a race of robots. No need to think, no need to question, no need indeed for intelligence other than to obey a preset collection of instructions. But we are given free will, and with that gift comes responsibility. Responsibility to live and act in ways that reflect that love which first created us. Responsibility before God, responsibility for ourselves, and also responsibility for others. The downside of the gift is that in using it, the perversity of the human ego is often revealed. One's personal opinions, beliefs and views are not necessarily held by others, even by one's own family members. It leads to tensions and disagreements, and it's hurtful when it's with loved ones. But perhaps, though, these tensions produce the right solutions, though this, of course, presupposes that whatever the original position or belief, all involved would seek discussion and debate. Unfortunately, it was not so with the Pharisees, as clearly seen in their attitude to John the Baptist. Confirmation of their contempt in their approach to him and his proclaimed way to God, so very different to their settled beliefs and teachings in their synagogues. There is no attempt to engage, to debate his words, his firmly held conviction that God was speaking through him. No, they simply dismissed him as being demon-possessed. As with John, so with Jesus. A challenge to the Pharisees, a threat to their beliefs, their position within Jewish society, even to their own way of life. all challenged by Jesus. And their response? No debate, no discussion, no suggestion that there might be a need for revision of long-held views. Simply a denigration of Jesus' words and actions, his earthly pleasures, his eating and drinking with the tax collectors and sinners, and then planning his death as the surest way to silence him and those who followed him. In all they said, and no doubt believed, about John and Jesus, there is no reflection, a reflection of that gift of free will, to ask themselves, why was it necessary for both John and Jesus to live within human society and to act and speak as they did? So, as with all things connected to the human race, good and bad, there is, as I've already said, a downside to the gift of free will. That downside which engenders selfishness and a disregard for personal responsibility. Selfishness and rejection of responsibility. And that's so evident in the ferment of today's social media. It would seem that little, if anything, has changed since Jesus' day. In fact, so much clearly shows that, if anything, it has worsened. Our society today offers a sombre picture of so many instances of closed minds, so much unwillingness to debate or discuss, so little acknowledgement of personal responsibility for discussion of different viewpoints, and then a sharing of those different viewpoints. God gives us many gifts, and right at the top must come free will. May we, in living our lives as best we can in the faith of him who gave so much, try to take and to use such a gift wisely and well.